So today, we're going to be running through a recent hog hunt that I did in Cleburne, Texas. I'm just going to be in like the bottom corner, top or bottom corner, wherever, just doing commentary, because as you guys know, as you're hunting, you can't really comment as much. So it's going to be like a voiceover, video over kind of hybrid, but it's a really cool hunt. I had to take 2 shots on the hog with those Kodiak broadheads. The first one, I think I spined him, and unfortunately the first shot I didn't get on video. I was going through some really thick stuff and the GoPro was on the top of my head and I was having to kind of crouch down and crawl a lot, so I took it off just for about 30 seconds, honestly. And then when I go to put it back on, that's when the hogs appear, and that was the golden opportunity, so I took it. But the second shot, which is caught on film, you'll get to see. Let me just take you through it. It's a fun hunt. Alright, so this is the opening field. This is just me drawing the bow back. I just wanted to make sure everything still felt good, that I was comfortable. I'm trying to walk quietly up here because the trees straight in front of us, it doesn't look like they're very thick, but it's about 30 to 40 yards of width right there, and the hogs are kind of intertwined in all that mess. Right now they're right where I'm looking. That's where I'm hearing the noises from, so I'm like, okay. Oh, if you guys can hear this too. All that movement, that's all. There's about 13 hogs, 13 to 15 I'd say, kind of moving around in that brush right in front of me. And right now, as I'm walking, I'm kind of walking up to the right because the wind is at my back. So because of that, it's kind of blowing right into where they are. So right here, I'm trying to go to the right so that my wind is no longer interacting with them. So I'm just kind of walking up to the right, and then I'm going to pause here in a second and just look and listen. So now I'm just listening. I don't hear anything. A few more steps. Look at the thorns on that tree. Okay, so right here, it just kind of skipped because I turned the GoPro off. I thought that I actually lost them. And then when I was walking back the way I came from, I started hearing their noises again, and that's the direction that I just pointed. I was hearing noise from over there. So now I'm really just kind of listening like the whole time. Like I haven't put eyes on them yet. I can hear them and I know they're there. That's where they are, straight out in front, right here. Just kind of listening. Listening. The wind is pretty stationary right now, so I'm willing to risk kind of walking back. It was kind of a little shifty, but right now it's like dead calm. just listening. I'm wondering if maybe I walked past him. That's why I glanced to the right there. At this point, I'm thinking I might have blown it. So the last scene where I was kind of being really still and just kind of listening, and I kept kind of glancing to the right, looking back forwards. I'm trying to listen and kind of pinpoint where their little track noises are coming from. Because there's 13 to 15 of them, so they're moving in kind of a unit, and when they move, they make a lot of noise. But if they smell you, they'll be still, because they're aware that you can hear them too. So you need to get out of their range so that they're no longer smelling you. So then they kind of calm down, and then they'll start moving little by little, and you'll be able to hear that. But what ended up happening here, I was listening. I was just about to think, like, man, screw it. Like, we botched it. You know, like, we bumped them, they're gone. And then right at the end of that clip, I start hearing noises in front of me. And it's like right where I thought they should be from the previous noises, and kind of where I had, like, their trajectory for movement, where I thought that they would kind of pop out next. It was right there. So I start hearing these noises, and I said screw it to kind of everything, and I just take off to my left. And I take off pretty far to the left because I want to get outside of their wind, or I want to make it so that I'm kind of weighing between two options. One is immediately get outside their wind. The other is move fast enough so that even if my wind blows by them, it's just for like a second. Because sometimes if you're stationary, the wind will be like a lasting current. If they're just smelling you as you're sprinting by and the wind catches you real quick, that's much less detrimental to the hunt than if you're stationary and the wind is just blowing constantly and they're just getting like a constant candle whiff of your scent. So I ended up taking off. I was able to pinpoint their location, and then soon after that, this was just from the heavens, I guess. The wind starts blowing right in my face, which any of you hunters out there, wind in your face is kind of best case scenario, especially if whatever you're after is in front of you. You want the wind in your face, so then you're potentially smelling their wind, but they're not smelling your wind. So that was the case, and it's just this thick brush, and then we'll get right into it. But kind of what ended up happening, I was moving as quietly as I could. It's really thick, so it wasn't that quiet. But I was trying to kind of imitate the rhythm and the noises of the other hogs that I was hearing kind of march through that area. And then all of a sudden, so I've zero visibility for a while, and then all of a sudden, kind of 5 hogs out of nowhere all emerge, and I'm still completely invisible to them because I'm far enough through the brush. I'm probably 12-15 yards away. And I just picked the biggest one out of those 5. And at this point, I had taken my GoPro off so that I could kind of crawl through some of these tighter, more like little niche areas. And then I took the GoPro off to crawl through those. I put it in my pocket, my front right pocket. And I'm reaching to get it out of my pocket. And that's when the hogs come out. So it was just like, oh man. And part of me was like, okay, should I risk like turning it on, putting it on my head, all that noise, or should I just take the shot? And I had already thought that I had botched it from earlier, so I just took the first shot, pulled it back. Normally I'll kind of hold for a second and kind of make sure I like the look of the arrow. It was just pure, just back. I maybe held it for 0.2 seconds and then shot. But I hit him, the first one, I spined him like right behind his front arm. Like, I spined him right behind his front leg, on his right side. And the arrow, that was my sharpest Kodiak. That was the one from the How to Sharpen Your Broadheads to Make Them Lethal, that video. If you haven't seen that, check it out here. No, I shot him the first time, and yeah, I'll let the rest of the video kind of explain.
Guys, we just shot a pig with the trad bow. We're in the middle of a field, and he's behind us about 50 feet, maybe 30 feet, and he's in the really thick brush. He hasn't moved maybe 10 feet from shot here in a little bit. I'm gonna go check it out because I haven't gone up to him. I'm giving him a little bit of time to expire. And I feel like since he hasn't moved very far, like he'll make a noise, like kind of hitting a branch or something every now and then. But I think it's because he's already on his side and he's just kind of kicking his foot or something like that. We'll go check it out here in a sec.
Just found the arrow. So we got blood and stuff right here. And we've got the arrow. The arrow's thrashed. So that part right there is our sharpened part that we actually put into the Kodiak broadhead. So he's got the tip in him for sure. And then he's got a pretty good little blood trail going right here. Some of this blood is like real frothy. So I think I hit him in the lungs maybe.
Alright, I think it's been maybe 20 to 30 minutes and I don't hear any more noise. I don't hear any rustling or anything like that, so I'm gonna knock up another arrow just in case, and then we're gonna walk up and see if we can put eyes on him. Just starting to kind of march towards where the last things I heard were, which it wasn't that far. But you can see how thick this stuff is. Like if you're less than 3 feet tall, like a hog is, you know, you can march around in there pretty much invisible until you're very, very close. This was the kind of stuff I was marching through that actually had me take the GoPro off. Oh, he's right here. He's laying down right here. Okay, when I say, oh, he's right here, oh, he's right here, he's laying down, I can see him, or whatever I say. I'm watching this back right now and kind of doing commentary. I don't see him. I can't see him on my screen. So if you guys don't see him, don't worry about it. You'll see him in a couple more seconds. I can see him. I see some blood on a stick over here as well. I don't want him to lay there and suffer. So we're gonna try to get to him. Maybe put another arrow in him. Oh yeah, he's down, he's down. He's trying to move, but he's done. Okay. We might need to put another arrow in him. So if you're curious why I have 2 aluminum arrows on there as well, that's just in case I were to see something small game like a rabbit or raccoon, something that I potentially wanted to take out as well, but I didn't want to dull or risk losing one of my wooden arrows. I would use one of those aluminum ones. The only ones that I shoot like bigger things with are wooden, and those are arrows that I've made. I just really trust those Kodiak broadheads to do the job. I had no issue with this hog at all. Yeah, he's right there. Second shot coming up. Man,
Put him down.
That'll do it.
I hope you guys had a good time watching the video. I sure had a really great time on the hunt, making the video, doing the commentary. It was all fun. Always remember, live what you love.